The alien girl Ava never meant to come to Earth. Her mission was simple. Fly past the planet. Scan it from a safe distance. Record basic data. Then leave. Earth was listed in her ship's database as a low-level world. The air was breathable. The gravity was normal. The life forms were not advanced. Dangerous, yes, but only in small ways. Storms, wild animals, sickness. Nothing her training could not handle. That was what the data said. Then the alarms began. A sharp sound cut through the quiet of her ship. Red symbols flashed across the curved screen in front of her. Ava's hands moved fast, trained by years of drills, but the ship shook hard beneath her. Something had gone wrong in the upper systems. A pull stronger than expected grabbed the ship and dragged it downward. Gravity. Earth's gravity. Ava tried to correct her path. She pushed power to the engines, but the response came late. The ship screamed as heat wrapped around it. The outer shell glowed bright. Her body pressed hard into the seat as the world below rushed closer. "Stabilize," she said, though the ship did not answer. The forest appeared beneath her like a dark green ocean. Trees rushed up fast. Too fast. The crash came in a violent blur of sound and force. Metal screamed. Glass shattered. The ship tore through branches and slammed into the ground. Ava's vision went white as pain raced through her body. Then everything went silent. For a long moment Ava did not move. Her suit kept her alive. It softened the impact, sealed the air, and slowed the damage. Still, her body shook and her chest hurt when she breathed. Slowly she opened her eyes. The ship was broken. The front section was crushed inward. One wing was gone. Smoke drifted through the air inside the cabin. Lights flickered, then died. Only her suit display still worked, glowing faintly in front of her eyes. Ava unstrapped herself and pushed against the seat. Her legs felt weak, but they held. She stood and looked around. The ship would never fly again. She reached for the door release. It worked after a short delay. With effort she pushed the door open. The forest greeted her in silence. Tall trees surrounded the crash site, their trunks thick and dark. Leaves moved gently above her, though there was no strong wind. Light filtered through the branches in thin lines. The ground was soft and uneven, covered in plants she did not recognize. Ava stepped out of the ship. The moment she did, her suit warned her. Symbols flashed. Air quality alerts appeared. The suit adjusted filters, but the warnings did not stop. Ava felt a strange heat in her chest when she breathed, not pain exactly, but discomfort. The air was rich, heavy, filled with unseen life. Tiny organisms her body was not built for floated everywhere. This is wrong, Ava thought. Earth's air was supposed to be safe. She looked around again, more carefully this time. The forest was quiet, but not empty. She could hear faint sounds now that she focused. A distant call. The movement of something small through leaves. The slow creak of trees shifting. Her suit scanned the area. Life signs appeared immediately. Too many to count. Ava felt a tightness in her stomach. On her home world, open land was rare. Life stayed where it was controlled. Here life filled everything. It climbed, crawled, and grew without limit. She took a step forward, and the ground shifted beneath her foot. She nearly fell before catching herself. The soil was loose and wet. The forest floor hid holes and roots beneath layers of plants. Another warning flashed. Weather instability. Ava looked up. The sky above the trees was clear, but her suit showed rising pressure changes far away. Storm systems were forming fast. Too fast for a world marked as stable. Her training told her to stay calm. Secure the area. Find higher ground. Repair communications. She turned back to the ship and opened a panel on the side. Sparks jumped as she touched it. The power core was damaged. Communication systems were dark. She was alone. Ava stepped away from the wreck and moved deeper into the forest, hoping to find a clearer area. Each step took effort. Plants clung to her legs. Sharp edges scratched her suit. She had never walked through land like this. Paths did not exist. The world did not move aside for her. Something moved to her left. Ava froze. Her suit highlighted a shape between the trees. A creature stood there watching her. It was low to the ground, covered in thick fur, its eyes reflecting light in a way that made her uneasy. She raised her arms slowly, ready to activate a defense pulse. The creature did not run. It stared. Ava's heart beat faster. On her world, animals avoided unknown threats. This one did not. It simply watched, calm and curious. Then it stepped closer. Ava backed away without meaning to. Her foot caught on a root and she stumbled. The creature stopped, then turned and vanished into the trees, silent as smoke. Her breathing came fast now. Her suit recorded increased stress levels. This world does not fear, she thought. She moved on, slower this time, scanning every shadow. Minutes passed. Then the sky darkened. Clouds rolled in with shocking speed. Wind rose, bending the tops of trees. Leaves fell like rain. A low sound echoed through the forest, deep and distant. Thunder. Ava had studied storms, but this felt different. The air changed, heavy and sharp. Static danced across her suit sensors. Rain began suddenly, cold and hard, soaking the ground in moments. The forest turned dangerous fast. Mud formed beneath her feet. Visibility dropped. Water streamed down her suit. Lightning flashed nearby, lighting the world in blinding white for a split second. The ground shook. Not from thunder. From something deeper. Ava stopped and crouched, her body tense. Her suit could not explain the movement. The planet itself seemed restless, shifting beneath her. Fear settled in her chest. This was not a weak world. She found a large fallen tree and moved beneath it for cover. Rain hammered the forest around her. Wind howled through the branches. Somewhere close, something large moved through the trees, breaking branches as it went. Ava held still. Time passed slowly. Her suit power dropped as it worked harder to keep her safe. Every system warned her to reduce activity, to rest, to wait. She wrapped her arms around herself and watched the storm. Her thoughts drifted to her instructors, to the clean halls of her home station, to the calm skies of her world, where weather followed rules and danger was measured. Earth followed no rules. When the storm finally began to fade, Ava felt exhausted. Her body ached. Her lungs burned with every breath. She stood slowly and looked around. The forest looked the same yet different. Broken branches lay everywhere. The ground was soaked. New paths of water cut through the soil. The world had changed in less than an hour. Ava understood something then, deep and clear. Earth did not need to fight her to be deadly. It only needed to exist. She turned her gaze toward the distance, where her suit showed faint signs of human structures far away. Small, simple shapes made by a species her people called fragile. Ava felt a strange mix of relief and worry. If humans could live here, then they were not what the stars believed. And if they could survive Earth, what else could they survive? She took a slow breath and began walking again, careful with every step, knowing now that this planet was watching her just as closely as she watched it. Ava kept moving because stopping felt worse than walking. The forest did not open for her. Every step was a small battle. Wet leaves stuck to her boots. Mud pulled at her feet as if the ground itself wanted to hold her in place. Her suit showed her direction and distance, but the land ignored all straight lines. Trees grew where they wished. Stones waited just beneath the surface. The rain slowed, then stopped without warning. For a short moment, the forest felt calm again. Ava lifted her head and looked around. Mist rose from the ground, thin and cold. Water dripped from branches in slow, steady drops. The air felt heavier than before, pressing against her chest. Then the temperature dropped. Her suit reacted at once. Heat levels changed. Internal systems worked harder. Ava felt the cold creep through the outer layers of her suit and into her skin. The warmth she had left on her ship felt very far away now. Wind followed the cold. Came fast, sharp and sudden. It pushed through the forest, bending branches and sending leaves spinning through the air. Ava wrapped her arms close to her body and leaned forward as she walked. This change is too fast, she thought. On her home world, weather followed patterns. Here it seemed to change its mind every few moments. Her suit tried to adjust again. Then another warning appeared. Power drain detected. Ava stopped walking and checked her system display. The suit was using more energy than expected. Filters, temperature control, and protection layers all worked at once. Earth demanded constant effort just to breathe and move. She frowned. Advanced tools were meant to make survival easy. That was what she had been taught. Technology was supposed to stand between her and danger. Here, technology was struggling. A sound reached her ears. Ava turned slowly. Between two trees stood another animal. This one was larger than the first she had seen. Its body was strong, its eyes dark and focused. It watched her openly, not hiding, not afraid. More shapes appeared around it. 3, 4, maybe more. They stayed still, their eyes fixed on her movements. Ava felt her heart race. She raised her arm again, preparing a warning pulse. The system hesitated, then failed to respond. Weapon system offline. Her breath caught. The animals did not move closer, but they did not move away either. They watched, calm and patient, as if time meant nothing to them. Ava took a careful step back. The animals followed her movement with their eyes, but still did not attack. After a long moment, one turned its head, then slowly stepped away. The others followed. Soon, they vanished into the forest as quietly as they had appeared. Ava stood frozen for several seconds. Her suit recorded high stress levels again. They are not afraid, she realized. They do not need to be. The thought stayed with her as she continued walking. Hours passed. The forest changed slowly as she moved. Trees thinned, then grew dense again. The ground rose and fell without pattern. Ava slipped more than once, catching herself at the last moment. Her navigation tool flickered. Then it went dark. Ava stopped. "No," she whispered. She tapped the display. Nothing happened. The tool that guided her across planets had failed because of moisture and cold. Something so simple had broken it. She felt a strange emotion then, sharp and unpleasant. Helplessness. She chose a direction at random and continued. The wind grew stronger. It cut through the forest and howled around her. Her suit struggled to keep her warm now. She felt shivers run through her body. Another system warning appeared. External sensor failure. Then another. Environmental scanner offline. Ava clenched her hands into fists. One by one, the tools she trusted were falling silent. The forest seemed larger now, endless. Every tree looked the same. Every shadow could hide danger. She felt watched again, though she saw nothing this time. Snow began to fall. At first she thought it was ash or dust. Then she realized the truth. Small white flakes drifted from the sky, melting when they touched her suit. She stared upward in disbelief. It had been rain moments ago. The temperature dropped even more. Her breath fogged inside her helmet. The ground grew harder, less muddy, but more slippery. Ava slowed her steps to avoid falling. Her suit flashed another warning. Thermal efficiency reduced. She hugged herself tighter. On her world, cold was rare and controlled. Here, it arrived suddenly, without permission. She reached a small open area where the trees spread apart. The wind hit her fully there, pushing against her body. She almost lost her balance. She looked around desperately for shelter. Then she saw movement again. This time it was smaller creatures. They moved through the snow and leaves, stopping to watch her with bright eyes. Some climbed trees with ease. Others vanished into holes in the ground. They watched her like the others had. Not afraid. Not curious. Where? Ava felt very small. Her suit made a soft sound, different from the warning tones. She looked down. Power at critical levels. If the suit failed completely, the air alone could harm her. The cold would weaken her body fast. Earth would not need claws or storms to finish the job. She found a group of rocks and moved behind them, using them to block the wind. She crouched low, trying to rest while saving power. Her thoughts grew heavy. How did humans survive this? She wondered. She had seen signs of them earlier. Paths, broken structures. Fire marks. They lived here without suits like hers. Without advanced filters or constant system support. The idea felt impossible. And yet they existed. The wind eased slightly. The snow slowed. Ava lifted her head and listened. The forest did not go silent. It never did. Even in the cold, life moved. Something always breathed, crawled, or shifted. Earth was not cruel. It was indifferent. That truth settled deep inside her. Her people believed danger came from enemies, from weapons, from hostile intent. Earth had none of that. It did not hate her. It did not want her gone. It simply did not care. Ava forced herself to stand again. Her legs felt weak, but she pushed forward. Each step was slower now. Her body felt heavy, tired in a way she had never known. Her suit dimmed its lights to save power. The world around her grew darker. Then, far ahead, she saw something new. A straight line. Not made by nature. She blinked and focused. It was a road. Rough, cracked, and partly covered by snow, but clearly shaped by intelligent hands. The sight sent a wave of relief through her chest so strong it almost hurt. She stumbled toward it, slipping once and catching herself on a broken sign half buried in the ground. Strange symbols marked its surface, simple and bold. Human symbols. Ava stood there, breathing hard. Behind her, the forest watched. Ahead of her lay the unknown world of humans. She did not know if they would help her or fear her. She did not know if she would survive long enough to meet them. But she knew one thing with absolute clarity. Earth had tested her without effort. And she had barely endured. With what strength she had left, Ava stepped onto the road, leaving the wild forest behind her, aware that this planet would never soften its grip, no matter who walked upon it. Ava did not remember falling. One moment she was standing on the cracked road, staring at the strange markings and broken lines. The next, her legs no longer listened to her. The cold had sunk deep into her body. Her suit lights dimmed again, weaker this time, and then the world tilted. She collapsed onto the hard ground. The road felt cold against her side. Her helmet rested at an angle, showing her a narrow view of gray sky. Snowflakes drifted down slowly, landing on her suit and melting into thin lines of water. Her breathing was shallow. Each breath felt like work. Her suit tried to warn her again, but the sound was faint, almost tired. Power levels dropped to their lowest setting. Systems shut down one by one, choosing only what was needed to keep her alive. Ava's thoughts moved slowly now. So this is how it ends, she thought, not with fear but with quiet surprise. On her home world, failure came with alarms, voices, and quick rescue. Here there was only cold air and silence. Time passed, though Ava could not tell how much. Then came a sound. Footsteps. At first, Ava thought it was another animal. She tried to move, but her body would not respond. Her fingers twitched weakly. The footsteps grew closer. Voices followed. Human voices. Jack had not planned to be out so late. The weather had changed faster than expected, and the cold had pushed in hard. He pulled his jacket tighter as he walked along the road, his boots crunching softly on thin ice. Lily walked beside him, holding a small flashlight and watching the ground carefully. This storm came out of nowhere, Lily said. Yeah, Jack replied. Earth being Earth. They both laughed quietly, used to the sudden shifts, used to plans changing. Jack's light swept across the road ahead. Then he stopped. Lily, he said slowly. Do you see that? Lily followed his gaze. Something lay near the side of the road. At first glance it looked like broken equipment. Metal. Strange shapes. Then the light caught a smooth curve, a faint glow. Lily felt her chest tighten. That's not normal, she said. They approached carefully, their steps slow and quiet. As they got closer, the shape became clearer. It was a person. Not human. Ava lay still as the light passed over her. Her suit reflected it faintly, dull and scratched. Her form was small, thinner than a human, her limbs shaped differently but clearly alive. Jack felt his breath catch. Oh my God, he whispered. She's alive. Lily knelt beside Ava without thinking. She reached out, then paused, unsure where to touch. Hey, Lily said softly, even though she did not know if the being could hear her. Can you hear me? Ava's eyes shifted slightly. Just enough. Lily saw it. She moved, Lily said quickly. Jack, she's alive. Jack nodded and moved closer. He scanned Ava's body with his eyes, looking for injuries. He had no idea what he was looking at, but he knew one thing. She's freezing, he said. Whatever she is, she's freezing. Lily nodded. We can't leave her here. Jack looked around. The forest loomed nearby, dark and silent. The wind cut across the open road. No armor, Jack muttered. No weapons. And this is what survives out there. He shook his head in disbelief. Together they worked carefully. Jack slipped off his jacket and placed it gently over Ava's body, avoiding the strange suit lines and glowing symbols. Lily wrapped a scarf around Ava's neck area, trying to block the cold air. Ava felt warmth for the first time in hours. It startled her. Her body reacted before her mind did. Her breathing deepened slightly. Her fingers curled weakly. Lily smiled when she saw the movement. It's okay, Lily said, her voice calm. We've got you. Ava did not understand the words, but she understood the tone. Kindness. Jack pulled out his phone and checked the signal. Weak but there. We need to get her somewhere warm, he said. Now. Lily nodded. The cabin isn't far. Jack hesitated only a second before lifting Ava carefully into his arms. She was lighter than he expected. Too light. Her body felt fragile, but her suit felt solid, heavy in places, like it had been built to protect something valuable. As they walked, Ava drifted in and out of awareness. She felt movement. Warmth. The steady rhythm of steps beneath her. Her suit tried to scan the humans but failed, running on almost nothing. She could sense them though. 2 heartbeats. Strong. Calm. Not afraid. That confused her more than anything Earth had done so far. The cold wind bit at Jack's face as he carried her. He slipped once on ice but caught himself quickly. Lily walked ahead, shining the flashlight and watching for uneven ground. They moved with ease through conditions that had nearly ended Ava. This weather is rough, Lily said. We should have turned back sooner. Jack nodded. Yeah. But I guess someone needed us out here. They reached the cabin after what felt like a long time. Jack pushed the door open with his shoulder and stepped inside. Warm air rushed out, carrying the smell of wood and smoke. He laid Ava gently on a couch near the fire. Lily quickly added more wood, building the flames higher. The room filled with warmth and light. Ava felt it instantly. Her body reacted with a sharp wave of sensation. Heat spread through her limbs, slow and painful at first, then easing. Her breathing steadied. Her suit, sensing the change, shifted to low recovery mode. Jack stepped back, watching carefully. "She's not human," he said quietly. Lily nodded. "No. But she's alive." They brought water, placing it nearby, unsure if she could drink it. Lily found a blanket and covered Ava gently, careful not to disturb the suit. Minutes passed. Ava's eyes opened slowly. The room swam into view. Wooden walls. Flickering light. 2 figures standing nearby. Humans. She tried to sit up but failed. A soft sound escaped her throat, more breath than voice. Lily noticed at once and moved closer. "Easy," Lily said. "You're safe." Ava did not understand the words, but the calm tone reached her. She relaxed slightly, her head sinking back into the cushion. Jack knelt nearby, keeping his movements slow and open. "You collapsed out there," he said gently. "You're warm now. Just rest." Ava's eyes moved between them. They wore simple clothing. No armor. No visible protection. Their skin was exposed to the air that burned her lungs. They showed no signs of fear. Her mind struggled to understand it. Why help her? Why risk themselves? Her suit translated nothing. Their language was unknown. But meaning came through actions. Lily offered a small piece of food, holding it up and waiting. She did not force it. She simply waited. Ava studied it, then reached out slowly. Her hand trembled as she took it. She brought it closer, scanning with her suit. Safe. She took a small bite. Warmth spread through her again, deeper this time. Jack smiled, relief clear on his face. "She's eating," he said softly. Lily smiled back. They stayed with her as the storm howled outside. They spoke quietly about nothing important. About the weather. About the road. About how strange the night had become. Ava listened, not understanding the words but understanding the feeling. These humans lived on a world that tried to kill her at every step. And yet they were gentle. They were not powerful because they were armored. They were powerful because they endured. As Ava drifted into sleep, safe and warm for the first time since the crash, a single thought settled deep inside her mind. Humans did not survive Earth by fighting it. They survived by living with it. The storm returned after nightfall. At first it was only a distant sound, a low rolling noise far beyond the cabin walls. Ava lay still on the couch, wrapped in blankets, listening. Her suit had shut down almost everything except life support. The soft glow along its surface pulsed slowly, like a tired heartbeat. Outside, the wind began to rise again. Jack noticed it first. He stood near the small window and watched the trees bend and sway. Snow from earlier had turned into freezing rain. It struck the glass in sharp taps. "Looks like it's going to get bad," he said. Lily nodded. She was kneeling beside Ava, carefully opening a small medical kit. "Of course it is," she replied. "It always does at night." Ava watched them with half-open eyes. Her vision was still weak, but she could see enough. Jack moved with calm purpose. Lily's hands were steady and gentle. There was no panic in them, only focus. Jack checked the door and pushed a heavy piece of wood against it. He locked the shutters over the window and added another log to the fire. Sparks jumped upward and the room filled with warmth again. "Shelter first," Jack said. "Always." Lily smiled. "You say that like it's a rule." "It is," Jack answered. "Rule number 1. The wind howled louder, shaking the cabin walls. Something heavy hit the roof, then slid off with a dull thump. Ava flinched slightly, her body tensing without permission. Lily noticed. "It's okay," she said softly, looking at Ava. "The cabin's strong. It's been through worse." Ava did not understand the words, but she heard the confidence in Lily's voice. It confused her. The storm outside was powerful, violent, unpredictable. Yet these humans spoke as if it were an old problem they had already solved many times before. Lily turned her attention back to Ava. She gently removed a damaged section of Ava's suit where the outer layer had cracked. Beneath it, Ava's skin showed faint marks from cold and impact. Lily frowned slightly, not in fear but concern. "You took a hard hit," she murmured. "But you're tough." She cleaned the area carefully and applied a warm cloth. Ava felt a sharp sting at first, then relief. Her body reacted with a small shudder. Jack glanced over. "How bad?" "Not as bad as it could have been," Lily said. "No deep damage. Mostly stress and exposure." Jack exhaled. Figures. Outside, thunder cracked. The sound was close enough to make the cabin vibrate. Rain hammered down harder now, mixed with ice. Ava's heart raced again. Her suit tried to raise alerts, but Lily placed a gentle hand on her arm. "Easy," Lily said. "You're safe here." Ava forced herself to stay still. Jack moved to a shelf and grabbed a thick rope. He secured it around a support beam that had shifted slightly with the wind. He tested it with a firm pull, then nodded to himself. "Still holding," he said. Lily laughed softly. "This place refuses to fall apart." Jack grinned. "Just like us." The storm grew worse. Wind screamed through the trees outside. Something snapped in the distance. Snow turned to heavy rain, then back again. The temperature dropped, rose, then dropped once more. Ava watched the fire flicker and dance. On her world, storms were controlled or avoided. Here humans stayed and endured. They adapted. Lily finished treating Ava's injuries and covered her again with the blanket. She sat back on her heels and stretched her arms. "Well," she said, "she's not going anywhere tonight." Jack nodded. "Neither are we." They sat down on nearby chairs facing the fire. The storm roared outside, but inside the cabin there was warmth, light, and quiet conversation. "You ever think about moving somewhere calmer?" Lily asked. Jack laughed. "And miss all this?" "Never." Lily shook her head, smiling. "You're strange." "Says the one who treats aliens during storms," Jack replied. They both laughed. Ava listened. They joked while the world outside tried to tear itself apart. They spoke as if danger were normal, even boring at times. Their laughter was not forced. It was real. Ava's mind struggled to understand it. Her people trained for survival in controlled environments. Simulations. Safe limits. Humans trained by living. Another loud crack echoed outside. A tree fell nearby, shaking the ground. Ava flinched again. Jack stood up at once and checked the walls, the roof, the door. He moved quickly but not with fear. He fixed what needed fixing and sat back down. "All good," he said. Lily nodded. "Told you." Ava realized something then. Humans did not expect the storm to stop for them. They expected to adjust. Hours passed slowly. Ava drifted in and out of sleep. Each time she woke, the storm still raged and the humans were still there. Sometimes Jack added wood to the fire. Sometimes Lily checked Ava's breathing or temperature. They took turns resting without ever fully letting their guard down. Ava felt strange emotions rising inside her. Gratitude. Confusion. Respect. Her suit recorded steady recovery now. Her body felt stronger with each passing hour. The warmth, the care, the shelter, all things her advanced technology had failed to provide, were given freely by two unarmed humans. At some point, Ava woke to silence. The storm had moved on. Only the sound of dripping water and distant wind remained. The fire crackled softly. Jack was asleep in his chair, arms crossed. Lily sat nearby watching Ava. "You're awake," Lily said quietly. Ava blinked and nodded slightly. Lily smiled. "Good." She offered Ava a cup of warm liquid. Ava hesitated, then accepted it. The warmth spread through her again, calming her nerves. Outside, the world looked broken but alive. Trees bent but still stood. Snow and rain mixed on the ground. Earth had tested everything that night, and the humans had endured. Ava looked at Jack and Lily again. No armor. No shields. No advanced tools. Only experience. In that moment, Ava finally understood. Earth was not a death trap by accident. It was a teacher. And humans were its students. They had learned every lesson the hard way. Cold, heat, storm, hunger, fear, loss. They adapted again and again until survival became instinct. Earth had shaped them, forged them, and they had won. Ava lowered her gaze, humbled. If these humans ever chose to leave their world and walk among the stars, they would not need to conquer anything. They would simply endure. And nothing unprepared would ever stand against that. Ava stayed with Jack and Lily for several days. Time passed slowly, marked by the rising and setting of the sun, by meals shared near the fire, and by quiet moments of rest. Her body healed faster than she expected. The warmth, the clean air inside the cabin, and the simple care they gave her worked better than many of her advanced systems ever had. Jack repaired a small table while Lily brewed warm drinks and checked Ava's condition. They spoke to her often even though they knew she could not understand their words. Their voices were calm and steady. They treated her like a guest, not a threat. Ava watched them closely. Jack woke early each day no matter how tired he was. He checked the weather, fixed what the storm had damaged, and prepared the space for whatever might come next. Lily gathered supplies, cleaned wounds, and planned ahead. They never assumed the world would be kind to them. They prepared. That alone told Ava everything. On the fourth day, Ava's suit made a soft sound she had not heard since before the crash. A steady tone. Not a warning. A signal. Her head lifted at once. She focused her remaining power into the display. Long-range beacon restored. Ava's breath caught. She could go home. She told Jack and Lily in the only way she could. She stood, placed a hand over her chest, then pointed toward the sky. Her eyes lingered on them, filled with meaning she hoped they could understand. Lily's face softened. "You're leaving," she said quietly. Jack nodded. Figured it would happen sooner or later. They helped her prepare. Jack carried supplies to the clearing where the remains of Ava's ship rested. Lily brought food and water, even though Ava could not take much with her. They did it anyway. The ship was damaged but not beyond hope. Ava worked carefully, using what little power she had left. Jack handed her tools without asking questions. Lily stood watch, scanning the forest like she had done all her life. By nightfall, the ship responded. Its lights flickered, then held steady. Ava stood back, breathing slowly. She turned to Jack and Lily. They had no fear in their eyes. Only quiet curiosity. And something else. Understanding. Jack scratched the back of his head. "Guess this is goodbye." Lily smiled, though her eyes were sad. "You'll be okay out there?" Ava nodded. Then she did something her training never taught her to do. She bowed. Not low. Not dramatic. Just enough. A sign of respect. Jack blinked, surprised, then smiled. Lily returned the gesture without hesitation. The ship lifted slowly, its engines humming softly. Wind stirred the trees. Leaves danced through the air. Ava watched the cabin grow smaller beneath her. Earth faded below. As the planet curved away, Ava finally had the distance she needed to think clearly. She opened a secure channel to her people. The report began automatically, asking for threat levels, survival data, and environmental risks. Ava ignored the standard format. She spoke instead. Her voice was calm but firm. "Earth is not a weak world," she said. "It is active, unstable, and unforgiving. Weather shifts without warning. The land resists control. Life competes at every level." She paused, choosing her words carefully. Humans live there without advanced armor. Without constant life support. They adapt, endure, and rebuild. They expect danger and they prepare for it. Data streamed alongside her words. Storm patterns. Temperature shifts. Survival rates. Then she added the most important part. Humans are not fragile. Her voice lowered slightly. They are survivors of a world that kills the unprepared. Earth trained them through constant struggle. They learned its lessons well. She thought of Jack standing firm while the storm raged. Of Lily treating wounds with steady hands. Of laughter during thunder. No empire should ever challenge them, Ava said. Not because they seek war, but because they will endure it. She ended the transmission. The stars stretched out before her. Far away, her people would read her report. They would debate it. Some would doubt her. Others would listen. But the truth was already spoken. Ava leaned back into her seat and allowed herself to rest. Earth was behind her now, blue and quiet from a distance. But she knew better. Earth was not quiet. It was alive. And so were its people.